Does money buy happiness? There was once a man named John who lived in a busy city. He worked hard every day at his job and earned a lot of money. John had a big house, a fancy car, and many expensive things. However, deep inside, he felt empty. Something was missing, but he didn't know what. One day, John saw a group of children playing in the park. They were laughing and having fun with just a ball. They didn't have much, but their smiles were bright. John watched them for a while and wondered, how are they so happy without money? That evening, John decided to visit his friend, Sarah, who lived in a small house with her family. Sarah didn't have much money, but her home was always full of laughter and warmth. She greeted John with a big smile and invited him in for dinner. As they ate together, John felt a sense of peace and joy that he hadn't felt in a long time. After that night, John started to think about his life. He realized that while money can buy comfort and nice things, it doesn't guarantee happiness. He missed spending time with friends, helping others, and finding joy in simple moments. From then on, John began to live differently. He still worked, but he also made time for his loved ones, volunteered in his community, and appreciated the little things in life. He discovered that true happiness comes from meaningful connections and experiences, not just wealth. He found himself feeling more fulfilled. He had begun visiting the local community center, where he helped teach children how to read. Their smiles and eagerness to learn filled his heart with a sense of purpose that his wealth never had. One day, a former co-worker, Mark, visited John. Mark was impressed by John's luxurious home and the life he thought John was living. "You must be the happiest person with all of this," Mark exclaimed. John smiled but shook his head. "It's not what you think," John replied. "I used to believe that having all of this would make me happy, but true happiness comes from something else." Mark was confused. "If not money, then what makes you happy?" John took him to the community center. They watched the children laugh, learn, and play together. It's the joy of being connected, of helping others, and finding meaning beyond what money can buy. This is what brings me real happiness. Mark was silent, reflecting on what John had said. He realized that he had been chasing wealth without considering what truly made him happy. Over time, John's life continued to improve in ways he had never expected. He started to feel lighter, as if a heavy burden had been lifted. He no longer felt the pressure to constantly chase more money or material things. Instead, he focused on the relationships that brought him joy: his friends, the children at the community center, and the new connections he had made while volunteering. One weekend, John decided to host a small gathering at his home. This time, instead of impressing his guests with fancy food or decorations, He focused on creating a warm and welcoming atmosphere. His friends, including Sarah and Mark, all gathered around his table, laughing, sharing stories, and simply enjoying each other's company. As the night went on, Mark turned to John and said, "You were right. It's not about what you have, but who you're with. I've been working hard, but I've missed moments like these." John smiled. He was happy that his friend was starting to understand the lesson he had learned. Life is too short to only focus on money, John said. The real wealth is in moments like this, being surrounded by the people you care about and enjoying the simple things. From that point forward, John and Mark both made a promise to each other. They would still work hard, but they would never let their careers or money come before the things that truly mattered. They would make time for family, for friends, and for the small joys that make life beautiful. As the months went by, John noticed a shift in how he viewed the world. With his new focus on relationships and experiences, he found joy in the smallest things like taking walks in the park, spending time with the children at the community center, and sharing meals with friends. The emptiness he had once felt when he had chased wealth began to disappear. One afternoon, John visited his elderly neighbor, Mrs. Harper, who lived alone. She didn't have much money, but she always seemed content. As they shared tea, she told John about her late husband and how they had lived a simple life filled with love and laughter. "We didn't have much, but we had each other," Mrs. Harper said. "That was enough." John realized that Mrs. Harper had found the secret to happiness long ago. It wasn't about the things you could buy, but about the love and kindness you gave to others. Inspired by her words, John made it his mission to help others find joy beyond material wealth. He began organizing community events, inviting people from all walks of life to come together and share stories, laughter, and support. His home, once a symbol of wealth and status, became a place where people felt welcome and loved. And in return, John felt richer than ever, not in money, but in friendship and connection. As John's new life unfolded, he found himself surrounded by the joy and warmth of the people he had connected with. The large, luxurious home that had once felt cold and empty was now alive with laughter, conversation, and the shared stories of those who gathered there. The wealth that he had once clung to seemed insignificant compared to the love and friendships he had gained. One day, as John walked through the park, watching children play and couples enjoy the afternoon, he reflected on his journey. He realized that while money can provide comfort and security, it can never replace the deep fulfillment that comes from love, connection, and a life filled with purpose. Years later, John continued to live a life rich with experiences. His fortune was no longer measured in dollars, but in moments that could not be bought but were earned through kindness, generosity, and a heart open to others. And as he grew older, he knew with certainty that he had discovered the true meaning of happiness. Moral: happiness isn't bought with money. It's built through love, meaningful connections, and living a life filled with purpose. Wealth may come and go, but the memories we make and the relationships we nurture last a lifetime.